Forrest Gump, written in 1994 and directed by Robert Zemeckis, is about a man played by Tom Hanks from Greenbow, Alabama, who isn't the smartest and endures struggles both physically and intellectually. Despite these, he is able to conquer them and coincidentally becomes involved in some of the biggest world events in the 20th century. He overcomes these with the support of his mother and the hope that a childhood friendship could kindle into something more. Forrest's childhood is where we meet his best friend Jenny, who turns out to be a common thread for Forrest all throughout the film. One of the most well-known scenes is featured here, where Run Forrest Run is first introduced. This is when he is trying to escape the bullies, in which he breaks free from his leg braces, which is symbolic of the doubt that surrounded him growing up of ever being normal. Similarly, this movie displays that you don't need to be the most intelligent person to make a difference. It champions the idea that you don't have to be the best to do what you want to do in life, because anything you want, you can get it, which Forrest Gump strongly exhibits. Forrest Gump lives a life of spontaneous ideals rather than following a list of goals that the considered normal human being would do. He enlists in the Vietnam War simply because a flyer was handed to him, and he spends years of his life running across the country because he just feels like it. Symbolically, this run is representative of running away from his life problems, which is also portrayed in the song lyrics from the background, as well as at the end of his journey. He says, "I had a lot of company. My mama always said you gotta put the past behind you before you can move on." This was Forrest's way of accepting his past and stop running from it, literally. There are 4 overarching themes that occur multiple times throughout the movie: death, coincidence, destiny, and second chances. Forrest's first experience of death is when he's ambushed in Vietnam and attempts to save all of his guys and his squad. Here is where the theme of destiny is also introduced by his lieutenant, who was significantly injured from the ambush. Lieutenant Dan drags Forrest out of bed and says,
"You listen to me. We all have a destiny. Nothing just happens. It's all part of a plan. I should have died out there with my men, but now I'm nothing but a goddamn cripple, a legless freak. You cheated me. I had a destiny. I was supposed to die in the field with honor. That was my destiny, and you cheated me out of it."
Destiny is a common theme throughout the film where characters struggle to find what their lives are truly meant to fulfill. Forrest also encounters death by living in the age of 2 presidential assassinations, which always seem to be coincidental as he meets them right before their death. This movie does an excellent job of integrating several different historical events into the life of one man. Doing so compiles the ups and downs of the 1960s and 70s that many Americans faced into the narration of a single voice. The final theme that is evident in the movie is second chances. At one point in the film, Forrest finds himself in a bar with Lieutenant Dan on New Year's, and a woman approaches him and says,
"Don't you just love New Year's? You can start all over. Everybody gets a second chance."
This foreshadows that some characters will soon be expecting some changes, which is displayed at the end of the movie in 2 characters in particular. Forrest's search for friendship is exhibited throughout his own narration of his life in the entire movie as he tells his story at a bus stop to whoever chooses to listen. Forrest's mother is a cherished person in Forrest's life. She always sticks up for him and tells him to never let anyone tell him he's different from anyone else. This is one of the many lessons she teaches him. Another is that death is just a part of life, and we must do our best with what God gives us. His mother describes life as a box of chocolates because you never know what you'll get. Since Forrest isn't a very bright man, his mother would always try to explain things in ways he would understand, which does not go unappreciated by Forrest. Forrest's relationship with his mother is an essential piece to the movie as it shows that even a seemingly broken low-class family can still provide the loving nurture that Forrest so desperately needs. Because he is constantly rejected by Jenny, the reassurance provided to him by his mother becomes all the more important. Whether it be some words of wisdom or just a place to call home, Forrest's mother is someone he can always rely on. This is contradictory to the roles Jenny plays in Forrest's life. No matter what he does or how hard he tries, Jenny never truly reaches the level of love Forrest is on. Even so, Forrest considers her a saving grace and a reason to overcome all his struggles. Also, he always refers to his happiest moments to be with Jenny, which reiterates the fact that she truly is his closest lifelong friend outside of his own family. While there are a multitude of other themes I could expand on, these seem to be the most obvious and important to the development of the movie and the characters themselves. Overall, Forrest Gump is a wonderful example of a man's strive to beat adversity and refuse to let any restrictions hold him back from the destiny he wants to fulfill.